Hi there, I am still in Ongata Rongai. Let's have a conversation about houses in Ongata Rongai. Today we're doing house hunting in Ongata Rongai, and I'm going to really discuss with you in details for you to be able to understand the housing situation in Ongata Rongai, depending on the kind of house you are looking for. Whether you are looking for a bedsitter, a one-bedroom house, a two-bedroom house, you name it. Ongata Rongai has a myriad of houses for all the needs out there. And of course, as you all know, Ongata Rongai is the biggest town in Kajiado County. That tells you it has a very, very high population. And with that, there is demand for housing, demand for decent housing. That's why a good number of people out there are moving to Ongata Rongai, more so because it is the remaining expansion frontier when it comes to housing situation or even residency in Nairobi. Think about it. The other side of the town, for example, Thika Superhighway has very many holes there. It has very many people, and is in the recent times where we've been seeing, for example, towns like Ongata Rongai, Kiserian, Ngong sprout up. And with that, there is increased demand for housing. That's why I want to talk to you about the housing situation in Ongata Rongai. And of course, Ongata Rongai has all types of houses, whether it is individual single town houses, whether it is apartments, whether it is whichever kind of houses out there, they are in plenty in Ongata Rongai, right? It depends with exactly what you're looking for, and be sure you're gonna be able to get it. So you might be wondering, how much does it cost, for example, to get a house? Like, for example, behind me, there's an apartment under construction, which has different size of houses. It actually depends on exactly what we want. And to give you an example, in case maybe someone is, for example, looking for a bedsitter, it's gonna cost them somewhere between 6,000 Kenya shillings to about 10,000 Kenya shillings for them to be able to get this bedsitter. That is its monthly rent, okay? In case, for example, someone is looking for a one bedroom, depending on the location or where they're intending to live, it's gonna cost them somewhere between 8,000 Kenya shillings to even upwards of 14,000 Kenya shillings for them to get a one bedroom house in Ongata Rongai. And if someone, for example, is looking for a two bedroom house, it's gonna cost them somewhere between 13,000 to even upwards of 20,000 Kenya shillings, 13K to 20K Kenya shillings for them to be able to get a two-bedroom house in Ongata Rongai. That's why I'm saying it all depends. And of course, like any other real estate property or house situation out there, it all actually comes down to exactly what you're looking for and also how much you have. Because think about it, at the end of the day, it depends with your pocket. It is your pockets which are going to determine how much you're going to be paying when it comes to housing situation out there. And so with that, you need to understand also that more so when a person out here is looking for a property to get into, chances are it's gonna cost them quite a good chunk of money when they are going in for the first time. Because Ongata Rongai, like another town out there, also has the same model. You're gonna, for example, pay money for deposit too when you're going to a house. Maybe it's gonna be 1 month or even 2 months deposit. So if a house is maybe 15K per month, take an example, a one bedroom or a two bedroom house, going for 15K per month. When you are going in for the first time, chances are you're gonna pay more than 30K. Reason being, you're going to pay 1 month's rent, the rent for the month which you're gonna be getting into the house, and also you're going to pay the deposit. And for most real estate properties out there in Ongata Rongai, just like any town out there, also there is deposit for amenities. Think about it. Things like, for example, electricity, things like, for example, water, all these, you're going to end up paying some form of deposit for them. And so with that, it's gonna mean that, for example, when you are intending to get into this house, it's gonna cost you upwards of 30K Kenya shillings for you to be able to get into this house. And just another thing I want to share with you that also you need to realize, as a by the way, is that most of the times This cost is also going to vary depending on the location where a house is. And when I talk about location, I mean how far it is from, for example, the main highway, or even so, how far it is from, for example, the main stage of the town. Like, for example, when you go further away, when you get to Ongata Rongai, at Masai Lodge stage, you pass, for example, Masai Mall area, you continue, you pass Tuskies, you continue going far and far. Chances are the house are going to get, for example, cheaper and cheaper as you go far away from the central points in the town. Mostly because most of the people out there are actually scrambling to get those houses in a central position. Think about, for example, houses at the first entry stages of a town. They are quite expensive because a good number of people are targeting to get into these houses. But the far and far away you go, these houses become cheaper and cheaper. But also it is a trade-off. For example, in case you're doing your hustle, or even you're having a business, or you're working in Nairobi Central Business District, Nairobi CBD, it's going to be an uphill task for you, for example, to move very far away and deeper from the main town center in Ongata Rongai, because you're going to just be incurring more and more money on transport. It's going to be better for you, for example, to trade off and stay near the highway at the closest entry stage of Ongata Rongai as opposed to going far away. Because with that, the trade-off is going to be very high. That's one of the key things you need to realize. And secondly, also, as you're negotiating to get into the house, it is good for you to understand the terms very clearly, because each and every landlord out there has different terms and conditions for you to get into any house. And also their deposit varies. To give you an example, maybe a given landlord is going to tell you, for example, the deposit for water to get into a given house is maybe 1,000. Another one is going to tell you, for example, it is 2K. Think about, for example, even electricity. Maybe you're going to find a landlord out there telling you the deposit for electricity is maybe 1,500. Another one is going to tell you it's 2K. So it varies depending on the discretion of individual owners. Notwithstanding, these are some of the key charges or costs which you're going to incur. Deposit, the first month's rent, and also you're going to incur the other deposits, like, for example, on utilities, which I have talked about. So when you're targeting to get into a house for the first time, prepare to pay such kind of amount. So don't go out there, for example, just maybe 10K, think you're going to be able to get into a house maybe which costs 9K or 10K. It's going to most likely cost more than double that amount. Get ready for it, because also people want you to get in there and they have security in case maybe you break something, or even so when you are going out, even cost for repainting, maybe repairing minor fixtures and so forth, they need to recover from you. So guys, that is the housing situation in Ongata Rongai. And as you can see, there are so many good houses here. It just depends what exactly are you looking for, and also what are you going for. It varies depending on your pocket and also your taste. But there are many houses in Ongata Rongai which you can get easily depending on what you are looking for. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I look forward to share with you other awesome video next time around real estate. Cheers, and you all take care.